I'm Rodney Eric Lopez, and I stand for generosity, faith, and service. I'm on a mission to help people create a healthier relationship with their money by placing giving at the center of their financial lives. Welcome to The Generosity Solution, a show where I'll examine some of the barriers to abundant living and how to overcome them. I'm your host, Rodney Eric Lopez. Like millions of fantasy book enthusiasts, I'm a big fan of Patrick Rothfuss when he created the world of Quothé in the best-selling novel, The Name of the Wind. There's a powerful line from that book uttered by Bast, the innkeeper's assistant, that I wanted to share with you. Don't mistake me for my mask. You see light dappling on the water and forget the deep, cold dark beneath. Despite the ominous tone, there's something that rings true in that statement. We all present a certain aspect of ourselves to the world, a part of our personality that's acceptable and respectable. But underneath, there might be another person, the part of ourselves that doesn't see the light of day, the cold dark beneath. A mask has multiple functions. In a literal sense, it can serve as a fun accessory for Halloween parties. A mud mask is an awesome exfoliant. More often, though, we use figurative masks to hide who we really are, especially when we are experiencing shame over decisions we've made or our life circumstances. And doing so comes with some real benefits. It allows us to put off the discomfort of dealing with life's troubles, buying some time to focus on other matters. But the longer we wear a mask of shame, the more healing is delayed. This idea has been addressed in many ways over the years, but I'm reminded of the work of the great scholar W.E.B. Du Bois. He writes about masks in the context of the African American experience in the United States. In The Souls of Black Folk, words that were written in 1903 are incredibly relevant today. It is a peculiar sensation, this double consciousness, this sense of always looking at oneself through the eyes of others, of measuring one's soul by the tape of a world that looks on in amused contempt and pity. When it comes to finances, many people are wearing the masks of respectability and control, when in fact, we are actually feeling like we don't know how we're going to make ends meet. I'll come back to that point in a minute, but I'd like to address the use of masks in another way first. In the professional world, many of us may be speaking, as Dave Chappelle puts it, the language of job interview during the day, and being our more authentic selves after hours. This duality can cause an underlying sense of unease in our work environments. The March-April 2018 issue of the Harvard Business Review addresses this issue directly in an article entitled Diversity and Authenticity. The authors, Catherine Phillips, Tracy Dumas, and Nancy Rothbard, write about the results of their research into how much members of minority groups can be themselves at work, understanding that professional advancement is often based on the social capital that is gained through workplace relationships. While the focus of the article is on people of color, the authors note that the results can apply to people in a variety of groups who find themselves in the minority at work. Their research finds that in social networking activities during and after work, some people of color are caught between the desire to socialize with their colleagues and the level of discomfort in finding areas of common ground. One Black female executive asked, "How do I jump into the conversation when I often have no idea what they're talking about? I don't watch the same TV shows or the sports they're discussing." Another woman named Karen, a professional working in higher education, told a story about a birthday party her coworkers threw for her. When she was asked what she did for her birthday, she replied that she went to see a concert with her husband and friends. When they asked which concert she went to, Karen felt like she couldn't answer authentically. She'd gone to see gospel star Kirk Franklin, who's popular with her Black friends. However, when presented with an opportunity to share that fun experience, she mumbled, "Oh, you won't know him." While it seems like a minor denial, in retrospect, Karen understands that it was a big deal. She said, "If I'm uncomfortable with who I am, the music I like, the places I like to go, how can I expect my coworker to value me for who I am. What is so wrong with being excited about Kirk Franklin? She wore a mask at her place of employment to avoid the potential of an awkward conversation based in race. A mask that could have cost her moments of connection with her coworkers and possibly career advancement. More importantly, it cost her, even for a moment, a chance to be her full self, unapologetically. Have you ever done the same? I have, and it doesn't feel good. That's one example of a mask. What about the masks we wear when thinking and talking about our finances? In the United States, we are suffering under the silent shame of financial scarcity. According to the Federal Reserve Board, 47% of Americans, in order to pay for a $400 emergency, would have to borrow or sell something, or couldn't come up with the funds at all. The Pew Charitable Trusts found that 55% of households didn't have enough liquid savings to replace a month's worth of lost income. A study by professors at 3 universities found that 25% of respondents could not come up with $2,000 in 30 days for an unanticipated expense, and an additional 19% could only do so if they pawned possessions or took out payday loans. Financial insecurity can be so distressing that it has even been called financial impotence, as the characteristics of it can be likened to sexual impotence, including the need to often make believe everything is okay, even when there is a problem. According to Brad Klontz, a financial psychologist at Creighton University, you're more likely to hear from your buddy that he is on Viagra than that he has credit card problems. Many people are carrying the weight of financial burdens, even when solidly in the middle class. Doug and Mary Jeffries, a married couple from New Jersey, wore the masks of financial health even under the intense pressure of foreclosure on their home. Doug is a luxury car salesman and Mary a real estate broker. While the economy was strong, their incomes were enough to maintain an upper middle class lifestyle. When the 2008 crisis hit, their commission-based compensation was decimated and they lost the ability to pay their mortgage. Instead of reaching out for help, the Jeffries kept silent about their dilemma, falling behind month after month on their mortgage, until after over 2 years in default, the bank informed the couple that they would begin foreclosure proceedings. DeForest Soaries, author of D-Free, Breaking the Chains of Financial Slavery, speaks about the folly of keeping up with the Joneses while not being able to handle the bills. We'll do rent to own and take out payday loans, but still drive shiny cars and wear designer suits. We have all the appearances that we're doing well, but we won't admit that we are broke. I've worn my own mask to hide my money problems. When I was in tax debt and had no bank accounts, I was really embarrassed. My real-life circumstances did not agree with the idea that I was supposed to have my finances together. So I put on a mask that told the world that everything was okay. I cashed my checks and paid the ridiculous check cashing fees for the privilege, so that I always had cash in my pocket and never had to come up with an excuse for why I didn't have an ATM debit card. I changed the subject or found a convenient reason to leave the room when friends or family would talk about money. This mask allowed me to temporarily feel good about myself, but it was a means of avoiding my problems and seeking the help that I needed. That's the upside of masks. They may buy you time in avoiding pain, but eventually, if you want to heal, you've got to be willing to drop the mask and allow yourself, even with your money troubles, to be seen. Being seen is the beginning of moving forward. It means you can reach out to those who can help you. What helped me was learning that I wasn't alone with my money problems. There were many others who were going through similar problems. When I was able to talk about it, I learned that there were solutions available to me if I could just let go of some pride. So what about you? Are you wearing any masks? If so, how is that mask benefiting you right now? What would happen if you were able to remove it? In the next episode, I'll be addressing the process of getting out from behind the mask and into the sunlight of healing your money challenges. If you'd like to learn more about my work in this area, please visit my website, rodneyericlopez.com. In the meantime, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this topic, so I invite you to comment. I'm Rodney Eric Lopez. Thanks for watching The Generosity Solution. See you in the next episode.